Is your church a family or a franchise? Franchises, they have their place. I guess somewhere like one of the most famous kind of places I would say would be that it works like a franchise is McDonald's. You know, you can go anywhere in the world, from Moscow to Paris to New York, and you go into a McDonald's and you order a cheeseburger and fries. You know you're going to get exactly what you get in your hometown. That whoever's running that McDonald's, they're going to give you the same thing. And I guess that's comforting for some people. But I've always seen the church as a family. You know, the Apostle John talks about different stages of growth in the Christian life. He talks about little children, and then he talks about young men, and then he talks about fathers, those who are mature in the Lord. And again, the Apostle Paul says the same sort of thing, doesn't he? That there's this relationship between older women and younger women, between older men and younger men. There's a mentoring process that, like in a family, those who are young in the faith are being discipled by those who are older. And I think the problem with running your church like a franchise, like a kind of business, is that the congregation become consumers, really. And that puts the minister or the eldership, the leaders, in a very strange position where they're almost like retailers. And they're sort of selling their sermons, they're selling their teaching, they're selling the resources of the church to the congregation, who are then acting like consumers. Well, is that the best you've got? Can you do anything better? You know, if your standards, if what you're selling doesn't really reach what I'm expecting, I might go somewhere else. And that's not really the relationship that a church should have. If you're a consumer, if you're just, well, what's the sermon like? What's this series of sermons like this week? What's the music like? What are the facilities? What's the parking like? What's your facilities for the children? You're like a customer. That's not how the church is portrayed. Again, the apostle says that though you might have 10,000 instructors in Christ, you have not many fathers. And so the relationship ought to be more like a family relationship, where you're not a consumer, you're not a customer. You're in relationship, close relationship with the other people in the church. It's a loving relationship. It's a relationship where you are bearing their burdens and they are bearing yours. It's a relationship where, yes, they have certain gifts that they can build you up, can edify you with, but you also have certain gifts that you are building up or edifying them with. And so I think it is more biblical, it is more right to see the church as a family in Christ, not as some kind of business, as some kind of franchise that's selling you something that you want. I mean, I know people who have travelled hundreds of miles across Europe to go to a church just simply because it has a particular label on it, just simply because it is associated, however tenuously, with some well-known preacher. And that is a kind of consumer's mentality. I want to hear this particular approach. And my understanding has always been, you should go where God is sending you. You should go to the church that God sends you to. You should go and be part of that church. And, it's not like, you get a job and then you get the offer of a better job. So it's like, right, see everybody, I'm leaving now and got this better job. It's paying more money. It's got more opportunities. Unless there is something happening there that is wrong, that's unbiblical, then what are you leaving for? Why are you leaving those people? You're supposed to be in relationship with them. You're supposed to be bearing their burdens. You're supposed to be committed to them, not committed to some kind of corporate organization. You're committed to the brother or sister who is sitting next to you in the pew. That's what being a church is. I think part of the problem is many people don't understand what a church is or what a church does. That it is Christians who come together in relationship, in loyalty to one another, in commitment to one another, not because, well, we want to be the best church, the top church. We want to be the biggest church. Be the most loving church. Be the holiest church. It's about bearing one another's burdens and so fulfilling the law of Christ. Be that spiritual family. Don't be some organization of consumers and sort of facilitators. Be a loving family in Christ. That is what a church should be. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit that notifications button where you can find out any other videos that are coming up on this channel. Thanks for watching and see you soon. God bless.